Now, I don't know what's going on over in the Trump administration, but we have got to discuss it. Let's jump in. So, you guys, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't see this one coming. I didn't see this one coming. If anything, I saw Pam Bondi getting fired first. I will not lie. I saw Pam Bondi getting fired first. But let me tell y'all how sometimes I feel like I be right. You know what I mean? I said in the episode where I was talking about Pam Bondi and how she was she was testifying about the Epstein files and things like that. And I said she seemed so nervous. Like that white woman seemed terrified. Like she knew her bosses were somewhere sitting up watching this and they were just making sure she didn't make a mistake or waiting for her to make a mistake. So she seemed a little like rattled and she was sticking to what they had said, the burn book, right? Like she was sticking to that binder. She was not going off script. Like she was sticking to what was in that binder. And I just got this feeling like she knows if she goes anywhere off script, if she nods, if she agrees, if she says the wrong thing, her ass is grass. Okay, she up out of there. And so Kristi Noem now, she's testifying about this $200 million commercial, how the commercial came about, all of the bids, who got the bid, like all of that. And she basically threw Trump under the bus. It was like, yeah, Trump knew, Trump agreed with it. We had the conversations. Yeah. You know, like she didn't make him look good. Now, she did not have that same fear, I guess, as, Pam Bondi. I think she that's what I mean. I will say that, right? Is like I said in that episode, y'all, they are running together at this point. So I can't tell you what number it was, but I'm sure if you go back and you look, you'll see the one where I'm talking about Pam Bondi. And I said in there that, some people understand that they're swimming in waters with sharks and some people pretend and some people are. And I think Kristi Noem thought she was a shark and handled herself like she was a shark. And that ass was a guppy and it ate her up and tossed her over. Now, let me slow down. Sorry, I'm excited about this. Let me slow down. If you did not know, Kristi Noem, who was the head of DHS, Department of Homeland and Security, get my words out, right? She was reassigned. Now, as someone who previously worked in human resources, babe, reassigned. I mean, that is just the politically correct way. Wow, my words are not coming out today. The politically correct way of saying, get the fuck. You know what I'm saying? Get the fuck. Like, that's all that was, right? So she was reassigned to whatever the fuck role. It's not even important. Nobody's talking about it. Everyone's just saying Kristi Noem has been fired. So yes, now let's catch back up. So again, she testified, threw Trump under the bus, and I feel like she thought not that she was untouchable, but that she was in the good old boys club and nothing could be done to her, right? Like, who's going to say something to me? Like, I'm in with the boys now, right? Like, I'm sitting at the table and I can say what I want and say how I feel. And that just didn't fly because in Trump's America, this is no longer America first. This is not, make America great again. This is Trump shit, okay? And he's running it how he wants to run it. He has said on numerous occasions that if you go against him, he's coming after you. And I don't think she understood that meant people on his team as well. Now, she should have paid attention because he did the same thing when he was in the White House before. Like, anybody who went against him, he was having them investigated. He was firing them left and right. And yeah, he's not with people just disagreeing with him. So I don't know how she thought she was about to make it out of that. You know what I mean? And on top of that, she already wasn't making them look good when I told you she came out and said the shootings in Minnesota, that, these were domestic terrorists and like, yay, ICE, and they're doing their job and yada, yada, yada. That already rubbed people the wrong way. But we have to think now, we're talking about $200 million. You wanted to do a ad with you riding on the back of a horse, baby girl. It seems like somebody might have missed the fucking plot. What are we talking about? $200 million for you to ride a horse? Miss girl. Like, who the fuck do you think you are? Who? I don't even understand. And to me personally, I just think because it was sketchy how it happened, that's why. I really don't think she was reassigned because Trump cared about the money. I think she was reassigned because of the things she said in her testimony about him knowing and, the president being aware and yada, yada, yada. And it being like, girl, them people mad at me. Why would you, what I'm saying? Like, you gotta, like I said, you have to bite the bullet and you in the front lines, get shot up for this, just like Pam Bondi did. Just stand there and take it, stick to the script, but you can't go off script. Not in Trump's administration. You can't. Absolutely not. Now, I think her being reassigned will tighten it up over there. I will not lie. I do believe it's going to tighten it up. If I had to guess, I think Pam Bondi, now seeing Kristi, maybe Pam Bondi is playing it accurate. You know what I mean? Maybe she's playing it right. But Cash, oh, baby, Cash is... he might be the next one to be reassigned. I'm not gonna lie to you, because it don't look good. You know what I mean? The champagne showers. I know when he first got in there, he wanted all his cars to be BMW. So it's not looking too good for Mr. Cash. I've heard the jokes about, he hates when people talk about his wife and this, that, and the third. So I don't know. He's giving very much. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. When they first appointed Cash, I said, okay, that little brown boy. You know what I'm saying? He might be. I don't want to say on the up and up because he's working for Trump. Honestly, I ain't gonna say on the up and up, but it might not be too bad. But he just gives like millennial party boy who got the job and now is just doing whatever the fuck he wants. So if I had to predict, I would say Kash Patel may be up next on the chopping block, but I don't know. They might tighten it up and realize mum's the word on Trump. If anyone asks you about him, you got to be like, yes, sir, he's great. Oh, yes, sir, he's great. Oh, he's awesome. No, he's never done anything wrong. Like, you got to really be on that type of time. We saw that with Pam Bondi. Her nerves came through, but I don't think her nerves were there because it's cameras and she's being questioned. Like I said, I think her nerves came through because she knew if she fucked up, that was her ass. You know what I mean? And I don't think Kristi Noem had that same fear. I think she went into it again just being like, I'm that bitch and who gonna do something about it? And I don't know what made her feel that comfortable. I don't know, but she is the fuck up out of there. Now, this next guy, I got to look into. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I have to look into him because I haven't heard anything about him. All the headlines were where Kristi Noem was fired, which reassigned. I don't know. I don't even know what their new role is. I really did not look into it. I think my main focus so far has been understanding this war, what that looks like for the average American. That's kind of where my focus has been, not in Trump's reshuffling. It just hasn't, like, this is what he does. You know what I mean? It's literally what he does when he's in the White House. So I was just a little bit more focused on the war and what's going on and what's happening, what's being said. And not for nothing, I would just say how we protect ourselves as Americans. Like, I guess knowledge is power and just understanding what's happening and what's going on. But yeah, y'all, I told you I was going to keep y'all for a long time. I just had to come in and say Kristi Noem is fired, girl. She fired. The real politically correct way is she was reassigned. She was moved, to a different position. But to be real, that's firing. When they don't want to fire you, they just move you, but you know what that mean. Come on. We don't got to pretend. We know what that mean. Yeah. And that's that on that. I don't have too much on it. I just feel like I told y'all, I felt like we were at a calm. Remember, I told y'all, I said, I feel like this is the calm before the storm. And what the fuck happened? They turned up. I told y'all, I said, I feel not a lot is happening in the news, but something tells me this is the calm before the storm. And next thing you know, Trump got to dropping bombs and striking places. Kristi Noem got reassigned. It was the calm before the storm. Then they had Hillary up there. I don't understand why they still interview Hillary. Like, I feel like she should just be up there like, look, y'all, I'm married to the man. I don't know nothing else. You know, he was cheating on me in the White House, child. Like, stop asking me questions. I don't know. Like, we know he ain't shit. Let's move on. You know, like, stop asking that lady all them questions, child. Leave her alone about her bill, okay? We know he ain't shit. She know he ain't shit. Leave her alone. But yeah, I told y'all, it was a calm before the storm. We are about to be in the eye of that motherfucking storm, okay? We about to be in the eye of that bitch, okay? I don't think we're there yet. We are getting close. And that's all I'll say on that. Now, with that being said, thank you guys tuning in to another episode of Headlines in Motion, where we talk all things factual in real time. I'll talk to y'all next time. Bye.